We're back. Good to see everybody. Regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. Hey, good to see everybody. Welcome to Thursday night. As we do every single week, twice a week, we hit the live stream charts. We want everybody to see this data real time, see these charts real time, know exactly what's happening as it happens. Welcome once again, everybody, to Charts After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go give us a like. Costs nothing. It's free. Free dollars. Hit the like button. While you're there, subscribe. Why not? You won't miss anything if you do. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss us. Right? And also, if you're over on X, I appreciate that. Good to see you over there. Hit the like on the video there. Hit the little heart. Give us a heart. And share it around to the rest of your social media people so they can all see it too. Give us a repost. And over on Rumble, hit the like button, man. Give it a share. Let everybody know what we do over on Rumble. We have 3 different streaming platforms all going at the same time: Rumble, YouTube, and X. So everybody can see everything that we're doing. All right, sweet. So welcome, everybody. We saw the thumbnail. Oh, head's itching. We saw the thumbnail. SMH Semiconductors is what we'll go over first. The reason I want to go over this, we talked about this on last live stream and how this thing kind of slowed down a little bit on Tuesday. It had kind of slowed down since the end of the week last week. Boy, did all that change back in the other direction. In a matter of just a couple of days here, SMH Semiconductor Fund jumped right back over the AEMA. Now, this is obviously the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. You're going to go, oh, well, that's not semiconductors, right? But this representative of the greater semiconductor market. What does that mean for everyone? Well, a semiconductor is basically a computer chip, right? And it's the way that your phone works, the way it works, why it's so fast. Same way that a computer works, the reason it works so fast, an iPad, the little machine you use to order with whenever you go to the restaurant. Yeah, the AI that you like so much on your phone, whether it's ChatGPT or ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, or whoever you might particularly like. Yeah, all that runs off microchips, which are semiconductors. And as such, they've created a fund that invests in the different companies and they bundle them all together. And this is what we get the SMH Semiconductor Fund, or ETF, Equitable Traded Fund. What's up, Well Daddy? Good to see you. Ian Charles Pierce. What's up, brother? So anyway, the point is, over the last couple of days, she jumped right back over the AEMA like it didn't miss a beat. This thing is still screaming hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times overbought. That's incredible. That's the relative strength index. If you don't know what these indicators are, you don't know which platform I'm using, and this is all confusing to you because this is the first time you've ever watched, and you don't know what's going on, well, check this out. I'll give you a link right here for TradingView. It is in the chat of each and every streaming platform that we use, and it's in those chats right now. Bam. Thank you, Alvin. Good to see you, brother. That's the link for TradingView. You can jump on there. It's free to use. If you'd like to pay for it like I do, and you want all the extra features, you can pick a plan there. And hey, you don't have to pay for it if you don't want it. It's free. It just will pop up ads on you, and it's ever so annoying dealing with ads, right? Deal with ads everywhere we go. It's super annoying. I swear I'm not a serial killer type stuff. Well, good to see you. Whatever, dude. It is what it is, right? I've lived a hardcore life. It's amazing that I'm still here today. So anyway, that's your link for TradingView. You can jump on there and use it all you'd like. Plus, if you'd like an indicator that you see on the screen here, you've got the 8, 21 EMA, 50, 100, and 200 moving averages. Just click indicators at the top, and you'll have a massive list of all different indicators that are available. Now, I've got mine saved as favorites on here, but if you're just going to go look for any of them, click on built-in here, and there's all these different ones. You can click on fundamental ones if you'd like. Once you find the ones you want, you can save them. They pop up here on your indicator list. So the relative strength index, if you type in RE, Right there it is, relative strength index, and this is what it looks like when you pull it up. It'll have a yellow line on there that's a moving average. You can use that if you'd like. I remove it, so it's just nice and clean like you see. This thing being as overbought as it is a sign. When something is very overbought, you should look to start selling. When something is very oversold, which is down here in the lower part of this indicator, as you can see, we are not there. You should look in general for an opportunity to buy. Screaming hot RSI, and that's on a daily time frame. But I tell you this all the time, you want to start on a high time frame. You want to start on the Wayback Machine. You don't want to start zoomed all the way in. You want to get a nice large view of what's going on, right? So how about looking all the way back to 2024 here on the weekly RSI? And oh my goodness, it's worse than the daily RSI. It's extremely overbought. When you see it start glowing green underneath the line, that's super overbought. You're at a peak right now of about 81. You peaked out at 84 on the RSI. That is the highest the weekly RSI has been for semiconductors since 2017. Wow. How about a little farther back? Let's go all the way to the monthly RSI. August 21, you peaked out at 87 on the monthly. And back in 2017, 84. Right now, you are sitting at 86 and some change. You are threatening to have the hottest running semiconductor strength of all time. Impressive. As far as your MACD goes, which is the moving average divergence. As you see, super screaming hot right there, way up, massive divergence between the blue and the orange lines. Typically, when you have that much divergence, they do come back together. It hasn't done so. It's extremely hot. When they get this far stretched out, to me, it's a sign to back up and move away, but it keeps going and you can't deny it. So until you see something just really jump out at you and go, oh my God, I got to get out of this, you should only kind of be nibbling profits on this thing until it really lays over and gives up. Now, on the last live stream, I had this Fibonacci set drawn. And I'll pull it back up there so you can see it again. That's from the swing low that happened in March to the swing high that we just had a couple of days ago. Even though this thing's jumped back over the 8 EMA the last 2 days and it looks like it wants to go a little bit more, it's still a lower high, technically. Here's your last high. And as you see, we are slightly lower here with this high. We could be starting a downtrend. This is what Bitcoin and many other things did, right? Of note, it's a lower high and it could start a downtrend. And if that's the case, you can get a low, slow, gentle move over to the lower right-hand side here after this enormous run up. This is very similar to what gold did. It just hasn't fallen off yet. You need 2 closes under this 8 EMA. I'm sorry, under the 21 EMA, which is the purple line right there. You haven't got that yet. You haven't even got 1 close under the 21. It's all over the 21 EMA. And as such, you're only nibbling profits here. No reason to bail out with a large amount of money. And since we haven't even filled that 236 fib yet, really aren't even in a downtrend. Yes, you could argue that it did break this very aggressive uptrend. I will hear the argument. That's fine by me. But it still hasn't fallen off enough to really push you over the edge and get you worried. Okay, now going off of that, let's look at some other things that also involve semiconductors. How about NVIDIA? NVIDIA is basically a semiconductor company. They make microchips and microprocessors. Those are semiconductors. All right, so here's the weekly. If we zoom way out, you'll see the structure on this one's a little bit more choppy than just the fund is. And that's because it's a accumulation of many assets put into one fund, right? Could be some NVIDIA, could be some AMD, some Dell, some Microsoft, some Apple, all put together, some Google, right? That's the semiconductor fund. Well, there you go. NVIDIA still chopping north here, even though over the last couple of days it has slowed down way up high. It didn't have quite as good a day. Excuse me. It didn't have quite as good a day as just SMH Semiconductors did, falling back underneath the 8 moving average, 2.8 EMA. Slowing down a little bit to get back in the wait a minute zone here. Okay. Big run up. I get it. Very, very tickled to see it. Overbought. Yep. 1, 2, 3 times overbought. It's not as hot as semiconductors, just a pure SMH fund. And here's your weekly. As you see, not as hot as SMH, not even close. This thing peaked out back in 2024 at 91 on the RSI. And if you look at the Wayback Machine on the monthly, you got to way up to 96. My goodness. Oh, that's crazy. So just a case in point of what this thing has done over time, seeing that right now it's nowhere near as hot as it was way back in the day. Can it get hotter? Absolutely it can. Ian Charles Pierce says, wait for a better entry, new opportunity almost every day. I fully agree, man. When they're this high up, I pump the brakes. Jeremy said, just got in the door, but I made it. Well, nice, bro. Good to see you. So how about some more? IBM. International Business Machines. All right, here's the weekly. She fell off really, really aggressively from the 325 position that it made. It fell all the way back here last week to $212. Sorry, fellas. I am whooped. The sun absolutely zapped me today. Humidity and heat got me. Not even gonna lie. Was waiting on the rain and never came, man. It never came. Big jump over the 821 EMA and 50 moving averages. Just barely missing the 100 moving average after that snap up on the last day here. Goodness, IBM with a big, big candle. That's just a bit of a recovery on the higher time frames here. Here's the monthly. As you'll see here, once I stop clicking random buttons, overbought in May. It's slowed down since. It got to 77. That's as high as it had been since February of 2012. As you can see here, even IBM making new highs and settling in with its lower highs on the short term to set a much bigger run up. All right, here's your weekly RSI. You're nowhere near overbought. As a matter of fact, you were almost oversold before this move happened. And on the daily, it's still not overbought. All this to me signifies that even though it does slow down, that maybe it slows down short term on the higher time frame, you very well may have more of a push going forward. Yeah, got monsoon away from Carowinds. I beat it getting home, but it rained for a solid 5 minutes here. That's all we got. Now, I was in Charlotte earlier today, waiting and waiting and waiting on the rain. Shit never came. Then I got sent over to a college to work. I was up on that roof and it was baking me, and I'm like, oh, it'll rain here in a minute. And nope.
Wrong.
It never did. All right, there's IBM. How about Microsoft? All right, so here's Microsoft. Slowed down on the daily, failed that trend, back tested that trend as you see there. Come up and hit the 382 once, hit the 382 twice, and has yet to break through it. It's kind of bearish here on the short term. If I flip it to the weekly, it's a little hard to see here, so I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. There's the trend line that I moved. You can see it's just kind of sitting in between the 236 and the 382 on the weekly, a little bit more clear to see there. And if I put my moving averages and exponential moving averages, the EMAs up there, you'll see it's stuck directly in between the two. That's the wait a minute zone on the weekly. So, well, just wait a minute. On an upward move here, I'm still targeting the 100 and the 50 moving averages up there. Hasn't gotten there yet. Thinking about it. How about Google? Yeah, they run their own AI. It's Gemini, and they have a whole bunch of buildings full of servers, full of microchips that are processing everything you type in when you go to Gemini and you type in something. I've tinkered with a lot of different AIs. I've tinkered with ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini. I don't like Claude, so I haven't touched Claude, but I've used a bunch of the other ones. Interestingly enough, I found that the Gemini AI has a different, I don't want to say purpose, that's not the right word, but I found a better use for it. And for Grok, I found a better use for it than what just using it randomly. Grok sort of overthinks it. And while that might be a good thing long term for just like a quick answer or some quick information, Gemini's way quicker at that. It's very interesting. However, you have to force Gemini to do stuff sometimes where you don't have to do that with Grok. It kind of just do it for you. And then ChatGPT, I found the best use for that, for editing, helping the wife with her papers. She'll write a very long paper. You can give it to ChatGPT and it'll proofread it for you, which is pretty cool, and help you correct any things you might have done wrong. Some of these papers that you're not allowed to use certain words, you know what I mean? You can't use like the word I, you have to use something else. And then it'll kind of like go through and proofread. Point is, all that AI power that you're using goes through microchips. Also, a lot of people realize this, but all that stuff has to be cooled off. So you need an experienced HVAC, commercial and industrial HVAC guy to get in there and cool all those servers off. A lot of them run on glycol. Glycol is a heat transfer liquid that's alkaline based, and it transfers heat really well. So the heat from them servers will get pumped up to a condenser where condensers pull the heat out of the glycol and then pump the cool glycol back down to the servers. It'll be in a big loop. The more AI you use, the more heat you generate, etc. Not all of them use a lot of water. Some do, most don't. I say most, a lot don't. Most is probably the wrong word. All right, so let's delve off into the crypto world, shall we? And we shall. All right, let me get back sortated here where I was. Zero rain at the house, right? It's weird, dude. They say it's supposed to rain every day for the next week. Watch us get like a 1/4 inch total. And we're in the middle of a drought here in the southeast. El Nino out in the Pacific has created an upper level trough. So we get the jet stream across our area, which means we get a little bit more wind and a little bit more dry, hot heat. We get the Midwest weather, which also means you should get thunderstorms come with it. However, we haven't got any of those. So it just basically turned into a drought, dry heat. We got North Texas weather. And as we have North Texas weather, you get thunderstorms and tornadoes or nothing. We haven't got any thunderstorms or tornadoes. We've just got nothing. That'll also help to break out the hurricane weather, though. So that'll keep us from getting smashed by tropical weather, which is also another thing that happens over in the Carolinas. Glycol tastes good too. Do not drink glycol. Exactly. How about they've started the newer glycol and the I don't know, 2023 and newer stuff. It has a bitter additive added to it, so that if you get it in your mouth, it tastes very bitter, like old stale coffee, and it immediately makes you want to spit it out. That's what the new glycol tastes like. They did that on purpose. It's the same coating that they put on batteries, because kids eat batteries. Go figure. The stupidest shit ever, but I guess they do eat batteries because it kind of looks like candy. Nonetheless, let's talk about some crypto stuff. And then we get off here, right? No sense in spending a ton of time talking about the same thing over and over again. I'm just going to keep it real here. All right, so last couple of days here, we've watched Bitcoin very closely here and been monitoring it very closely. There's a lot of lines on the screen. Let's just drop those off for a moment and note what we've got. I've got this thing in linear mode, not in log mode, okay? You see me flashing it back and forth right there. Linear mode is a scaling thing. So when you zoom way in on linear mode, it doesn't really change much. But when you zoom way out, you'll notice very large shifts in the chart. And this is where logarithmic comes in for assets that are very volatile. Okay. I've got this fib on here that I was looking at that kind of goes back towards September for a slowdown. I'm going to drop that off for now because I don't think we need that yet. And that really simplifies the chart. This is the weekly 236 fib from the bottom of the bear market to the top of the bull market. Bottom swing low, top swing high. And I pulled the gigantic fib set on that, going all the way back. There it is, from the bottom swing low to the top swing high. And it kind of lines up with roughly October-ish. All right, it's not exact, it's just kind of close. So I'm looking for that bottom to come in by then. All right, it might have already came in by then. But for certain, that's where I'm looking to buy the October, November area toward the end of the year. I'd really like to load up right there. And I'd like to have that. I'd like to be able to put six figures in it if I could. I used a lot of my money to fund my salary for quite a while, right? So I used up a bunch of my investment money, but I wanted to make sure I still had enough the next go around. So I'm trying to keep it where I can have six figures to put back in on this. And if I can get six figures back in on this, then I can work my way back up to $1 million again. Still stuck underneath that 236 fib. Like I said, hasn't quite broken out yet. Now I'll throw in our moving averages and exponential moving averages. We're still pinned underneath the 821 EMA, even with these few green candles in here. You'll note that there's a lack of volume and you're not really moving off the spot. You've got green candles, don't get me wrong. That's cool and all, but you haven't had enough volume to really push you through. It's trying to hit and hold that 50 moving average after rejecting that 200 moving average. We have seen other assets, several other assets, make a very pronounced move off of this and go back to the 200 to at least attack it. We've seen assets like NEAR, which I'll pull up now so you can see it. There it is. Look at that. Hit the 200, slow down, and then boom, what a shot up. The last 4 or 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, NEAR is up 40%. I monitor NEAR in our Discord. We have a whole section just for NEAR. I update NEAR every day, almost every day. If I don't update it every day, it's every other day, but it's usually every day and multiple times a day, honestly. That move is what I would like to see Bitcoin do. The problem is you just haven't seen that move. It just hasn't come through for you. Right now, NEAR is hitting the weekly 50. So worth noting that there are ones out there doing this. And another one that's very impressive is TRX. Look at this. This heifer refuses to quit. Look at that. She's all the way up there near all-time high again. Are you kidding me right now? Look, I wrote possible targets and they all got hit. Go figure. Yeah, look at that. TRX is approaching all-time high again. It tickled it today. Unreal move here for TRX. Star of the show so far. And there have been a lot of other ones that have been talked about, but nothing has touched what TRX has done. ZC gets mentioned a lot. Oh, not XCC, ZC. We'll do this one. Yeah, Zcash. Working its way back, but it's nowhere near all-time high. All-time high for Zcash is $2,900. We're not going to get there, right? But you got to admit, look at this thing rip, dude. Just like TRX, doing really, really, really good. To say you knew this was going to happen is incorrect. That's just total BS. You got lucky. And I'm happy people get lucky. I want you to make the most of it when you do. Attack that shit when you get it. When you get a hit like this, you are one of the very few making profits. Be smart. Get your money back. Don't be the sucker who doesn't take profits and loses everything. There are only a few of these every time we have a big bear market. There are a few that break out and run, but not many. Okay? Make the most of it. Don't waste your opportunity thinking it'll never go down, because I promise you everything comes back down. Here's Hype. Hype, new all-time high. Look at that. Can't deny it. We have a whole section for Hype. We have a whole section for TRX. Yes, that was my actual buy down there. Whatever. It's done and gone by now. But we have a whole section for Hype, whole section for TRX. Anything in the top 25 or close to the top 25, we have a section for just in the Discord, just for that particular asset. Tickling all-time high here. You didn't get through it yet. You rejected it. It didn't close above 60. Really closing above 60 is the new all-time high. I know running up there and smacking it gives you a short-term all-time high, but I want to see a daily close over that level. Getting over that $60 level opens up 70 to 115. Then what? That's crazy. Anyway, point is, Bitcoin hasn't necessarily jumped out and ran like crazy. A few alts have. but most haven't. And that's what we'll get into now. Here's Ethereum. Easy money, no. VET, easy money, no. Solana, easy money, no. AVAX, nope. Ordinals, well, you made a big jump, then you faded back. Chainlink, maybe, but not really. CRO, nope. Jupiter, well, Jupiter's not as bad. CRV, nope. Cardano, nope. Sui, you had a good run there a couple of days ago, but you slowed back down like a lot. HBAR, nope. Gosh, HODLer was a big deal. XLM, absolutely not. And I can go on and on and on here, okay? Point being there, a few are doing well, but the few don't speak for the majority. It happens a lot where people get locked into one thing happening, and I think that's got to be the way it is. Folks, I don't want you to get suckered into that, all right? It can happen quick, and then you get stuck and you can't get back out. Running out of Sailor propping up the price. No, Sailor doesn't prop up anything. In fact, of all the buys he's made, I think the last, 18 out of 21 buys he's made have went negative within a week. So he's not propping anything up. And I believe he said that he plans on selling some this year and then just buying more. If that's the case, he expects it to go up way more, obviously, like he always does, but he's trying to cover the calls that he has for his own company, right? And if he doesn't, then they kind of become naked, and he doesn't want that to happen. So he has to sell some of the assets to back the securities, which we all knew could be a problem one day if the price got too low. And he's under cost right now. So any buys he makes kind of add back to the pool, but he can only afford to do that if he can cover the calls, right? Is what it is. OG coins kind of falling down. Yeah, that's the problem. Even OGs we're supposed to be doing well, aren't. And that good example of that is Polkadot, Matic, OP, Optimism, and then this one we'll get to next here. Oh, I got to press record. The one we get to next here, XRP. The greatest digital asset of all time. The greatest digital asset ever created. I'm a Southern guy from Georgia who talks about this nonstop. Guess my name. Yeah. I know. I'll start randomly hitting this as I'm talking. That way you have to pay more attention to me, which is what he does. It's so annoying. I can start talking about Mike Novogratz and Andrew Pompliano and doing all that stupid shit. I hate that. So let's just talk about the charts, shall we? XRP slipped back underneath the moving averages and slowed way back down over the last few days, completely rejecting this area of trouble here that it just simply could not get through. Bang, 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 slap your head and fail. If you drew a trend line this way, not great. She looks like she's failed that also. Man, really bummer here. I was hoping it would do better than this. And that's interesting because I mentioned Georgia and then I say bummer, and then the Braves cut Andrew Bummer just the other day. My gosh, he gave up 7 runs. It's pitiful, man. He went from all right to terrible. He didn't just get demoted down to AAA or AA. He got cut, just straight up cut. You're starting to get a cross downward right there between your lag and baseline. Not lag, conversion and baseline. You want that blue line over the red, and it's trying to cross under. You do still have a green cloud on the end. That's your saving grace because this is a no from the lag line being under the candles, and the price being under the cloud. That's 3 out of 4 no, with 1 out of 4 yes being green on the end. Looking grim here for XRP. Needs to get out of its own way. Stop just barely keeping its head treading above water. Weekly is about to close under the AEMA. It's also further not great. You got more sell pressure than buy pressure. Moving averages are slowly working on crossing downward. That's why I partially expect this very long, slow, drawn-out price action for XRP. And if that's the case, most are going to be very long and slow and drawn-out price action. And there's nothing that anybody can do about that. It is what it is. I plan on playing a little bit more safe this time and not investing a bunch of money in crazy stuff. I was pretty darn safe last time, and it still didn't work out as good as I wanted it to. So I think less stress and more safe this time is probably better for someone getting old like me. If you guys remember this, when I first started streaming, man, I had no gray hair. I got the gray popping out everywhere now. So that's what this shit does to you. But I still expect this thing to work its way back down to $1. I got a lot of really negative comments when I say that kind of stuff, but is what it is. I keep it real. In the interest that this thing breaks out and goes north, I still got about a 170 cap on the price. That's a 200 moving average and the trend line, that red box, as you see there. Still a no, still not time. Yeah, I know it's a bummer. Check the messages. All right, cool. So, last couple things I'll do here is gold. Spent a lot of time talking about gold, and she continues to just consolidate to the right here, slow and steady. Figured this was going to happen. We talked about it. Wasn't strong enough to get over the trend line. It had a generational run up. Silver and platinum have kind of outperformed it over the last bit. But again, they haven't really kept up either. They also fall off very aggressively when they fall off. Here's silver. Not bad. And then yeet back the other direction. Same thing for platinum. Not bad. But the problem was now it's back down on the wrong side of the trend line, etc. Right? Here's MicroStrategy. She has had a bit of a resurgence here over the last month and a half. But again, it's careful time here. You're forming up a head and shoulders. That could get real nasty real quick. And the sell in May and go away theory very much could happen. We have seen before where crypto has a bit of a summer run, even in the middle of a bear market. I'd like to see crypto have that summer bear push up. But you have no guarantee of that. And since there's no guarantees, we shouldn't go assuming that the price is always going to go up. That's hopium, and we don't do hopium here. Last thing, this Bitcoin weekly here. I meant to discuss this, but that's a clean back test so far of this big weekly 236 fib. You need to be on this side of it, and you need to stay on this side of it. Back testing the bottom of that thing only means that there's more down to come with some short term up and then one more big push down to clear out that head and shoulders. And that's why I think we might see the bottom come in here in the summer. Not a guarantee, but I think it's possible. And if it doesn't happen, you'll see another head and shoulders play out and run this thing back down to the floor to end the season off, end the year off. That's why I'm not buying anything until I see something better. I don't know what YB is. Quick in and out. This thing looks like ass. I'm not buying this. And maybe you mean crypto. Also, this looks like ass. I'm not touching any of these shitters. But it does cross the 821 and 50 moving average. You are smacking the 100 moving average. I bet this probably consolidates more, but I would love to see it keep going. It's just, this is pretty rare for them to keep going like this. And this thing's still down 90+% from the top. Let me see. I'm sorry, 86% from the top. She's still way down. But if you want to do something quick, knock yourself out. I tend to stick to stuff higher than daily here. That's what the average guy has the time to do. Anything more than daily, right? And the average guy would be me. So I can look a couple times a day at each asset. You guys can probably look a couple times each day at each asset. I'm not saying you need to go through and find 5,000 that you need to look up. But what I am saying is take the power into your own hand and learn how to do this on your own. Don't listen to me. Don't believe me. Go see for yourself. We have an entire section of instructional videos over on the YouTube channel. It's real easy to find. Just click on us. You can do YouTube at Carolina Keith, and you'll see, bam, it pops up. And then go to playlists. There's instructional videos, multiple different series to help you learn how to chart all on your own and completely take me out of the equation. That's what I want you to do. I want you to learn how to do this on your own so you don't have to listen like to idiots like me online. You can do it on your own. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys being here. That was an awesome stream for Thursday. We'll be back again on Tuesday. because I could just say Tuesday, but Tuesday sounds more fun, and I've been saying it since I was a little kid. I'm hoping things get better, but I don't expect them to. I expect more of this. I expect the dog days of summer to hurt. It is all. It is what it is. This is part of the bear market. You're going to get these moments where things feel good. I don't want everybody to get too all pulled up in your feelings. This stuff can all go away very quickly. Last but not least, thank y'all for being on here, man. I appreciate it. I should be dead. I should be in jail. I say that with the most honesty I possibly can. But I'm here with y'all. So let's make the most of it, all right? Thank you, guys. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.